We are here. Welcome to EPTV. We have got two exceptional guests for you this lunchtime, and we really hope that you are going to enjoy what they have to say. They have nearly 3.5 million views on YouTube between them. I know, there you go, didn't they? Nearly 60,000 followers on Instagram between them. I think something like 35,000 subscribers on YouTube. We are going to be talking all things vlogging with Meg Elphick of Event Ponies and Tina Wallace from Life on the Left Rein. Hi, guys.
Hello. Hi.
We are really looking forward to this chat because we have had so many questions sent in from people looking forward to it. So if you haven't sent your questions in, there is still time. Drop a comment here below the YouTube stream, on Facebook, wherever you are, and we'll put them to Meg and Tina throughout the show. But first of all, let's just get to know you both, because it might be that people don't actually know much about vlogging that are tuning in. So Tina, I'm going to come to you first. Explain it. What is vlogging? What do you guys do? And just tell us a bit more about it.
The best way to describe it, I guess, is like vlogging, but in video format. And the reason I do it is because I feel I am rubbish at writing, but I absolutely love editing photos and videos. And it's a great way of tracking your journey in, for us, eventing. And yeah, it's just a way of having a digital photo album, I always say, to look back on years to come. And yeah, it's just a really fun, what started as a hobby, but has, led into some forms of work as well.
I was going to say, because that sounds like you very much started it for fun, and it was kind of for your own entertainment and your own memories, and then it has grown and grown and grown.
Yeah. I'm actually, quite grateful of a bit of downtime at the minute to focus on doing more videos rather than working full time.
Every cloud has a silver lining.
Exactly.
Every
enhancing the skills.
Exactly. We're going to talk about some of those skills a little bit later on. But Meg, tell us about your vlogging story, because actually you only started vlogging a year ago, didn't you? And now you're at, I think, nearly 2.5 million views on YouTube.
You really shocked us with the stats then.
I know.
Didn't you, Meg?
Just that me. Yeah. Absolutely.
It really is news to me when you said that. I was like, really? So I started mainly because of Tina and Emily, which she loves to hear. I really enjoyed watching them at university. I didn't get many horsey fixes there because I was up in Liverpool doing a degree completely unrelated to horses. So after a long stint in the library, I'd go home, watch 1, 2, 3 of their vlogs. And eventually I was just like, I really like that. And I feel like I could kind of do it. And it sort of started like Tina. I just wanted to document things. And I love looking back on videos. And it's kind of nice to look back on the really happy days. Because if you look at a video of a show jumping around, that's all you see. But a vlog, you get all of the memories from that day in like this half hour or an hour slot.
Yeah,
it's really nice to look back on. But Tina kind of got me into it, which was nice.
So how old were you when you started vlogging?
I would have been 22.
And you are 23
now.
now. Okay. So before you started vlogging, you actually had a fair following on social media, didn't you? That had sort of followed your journey through the ponies and that sort of thing. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so again, that kind of started, I'd been at uni for a few weeks and I was just hating not being able to talk about horses.
Don't we all?
I was in a flat with 6 other people, like none of them had even touched a horse, so I couldn't go in and be like, look at this. So yeah, I started this Instagram account just to talk all things horsey. I had hundreds of photos in my phone, so I wasn't competing at the time, but I still had things to post. And it kind of just grew from there.
And Tina, did your social kind of aspect come before or after your vlogging?
I always go back to saying that I generally started purposefully tracking my journey because I'd entered a competition of some sort on Facebook, I think it was. And then I didn't get accepted or win or be a part of that, the people that were selected for that competition, but I did the second one, as you're aware, the All-Star Academy.
Yeah.
So it was leading on from that then made me start vlogging, because it was something that we actually had to do as one of the follow-ons from being on the show.
Okay, so the All-Star Academy was run by Horse and Country TV. How many years ago was it that you did that now?
Just over 3 years. It was March 2017.
Okay, and talk to us
about
that.
Longer though, I think.
Yeah, I mean, a lot has happened in 3 weeks,
Definitely.
but that would have been an amazing experience.
It was incredible. Yeah, it was. And it's, as we said, opened up so many opportunities by then getting into vlogging and Instagram. And yeah, it's oh, I don't know, it makes me go a bit goosebumpy because it is quite a journey. It's like, it's mad. I really didn't think some of the opportunities that we'd be able to have from just basically just diary of your own life, really.
Life has come up.
Yeah, it's not hard to do, you know, or not for us. It's funny, actually.
You make it sound really straightforward. We're going to talk about a few of the ins and the outs, because actually a lot of the questions that we've had come in have been about sort of how you vlog and your advice for people. So let's go through a few. We have had lots, as I say, so excuse me while I'm scrolling through. Okay, let's start with actually making a vlog. So Martha Lily Photography has said, how long does it take to make and upload a vlog? Let's start there, and then we'll talk about how you make it in the first place. Tina, do you want to go first? Because how long? I imagine it's a lot of a time commitment.
I'm really fussy. I do like yeah, I used to be really bad. I've become a lot less OCD with it now, but it can take days. Yeah. But
so where do you start? Do you literally think about, okay, what's my topic? Or do you?
I think the easiest vlogs to make, and Meg will probably agree, is eventing. When you're going eventing, you've got a format, you've got the dressage, you've got the show jumping, you've got the cross country, you've got an intro, you've got an outro.
And then that's
easy
your vlog.
peasy.
Do you literally just document everything as it happens? So let's take eventing for an example.
So actually capturing the footage?
Yes. How do you start by capturing that footage, and then we'll talk about editing?
Majority of everything is done on my phone.
Okay.
I have got a GoPro, which I use as well, but to be honest with you, it's so easy. It's always to hand, generally always charge, unless it runs out of memory. But we won't talk about that, will we, Meg?
That is a nightmare. That's the biggest problem.
Is when your phone comes up, it's run out of storage.
And then you're
so yeah, I would. Sorry, Nicole.
Frantically deleting all those things.
I know, and that was my New Year's resolution for this year, was to stop panic deleting. Because I've got rid of so much footage that I wish I'd kept by going, oh, I haven't got room to film what I want to get today. But actually, sometimes the old stuff is more important.
Yes. Yeah, especially now at the moment, you're probably thinking, God, why did I get rid of that?
100%. Yeah.
Okay, so you're going about your day, whether you're eventing, you're filming everything that goes on. Meg, how do you literally just film everything and then sort of sort it out afterwards?
Yeah, pretty much just film as much as I can. Obviously, it's tricky because when you're going eventing, there's a million things to do, and sometimes filming is the last thing on your mind. But I'm really lucky that my mum comes with me to every single event, so I kind of just throw the phone at her and I'm like, film this please. But it is really a case of trying to get as much as possible. I don't really sort through it at all on the day because you never have time, and then the following day I kind of sift through it all and put it all on my laptop and go from there.
And then in terms of actually pulling all that together and editing it into a video, what software do you use, Meg?
I just use iMovie. I think we both do, actually.
Yeah, we do. We both do. I do it on my phone and Meg does it on a laptop.
Yeah. Okay, so it really is that straightforward. Just go into iMovie. Most iPhones have it. I presume Android has something similar that you can.
Yeah. I don't know what it's called, but yeah.
Yeah, something similar. I'm not an Android user either, so I don't know. And then you create this video, and then how do you go about, Meg, actually putting that up onto YouTube? How do you think, right, that's going up, that's uploading, that's for people to see?
I mean, I'm not nearly as particular as Tina, as you can probably tell watching my vlogs. They're kind of all over the place. So I try and keep, I think we both do, we try and keep it as honest and as realistic as possible, because that's something that we both value very highly. So long as I've kind of shown the whole picture, I've not edited out any bad bits. Like I always keep my polls in, I'll keep my stops in.
She doesn't really delete dressage tests when they're over 30, do you, Meg?
But no, as soon as I'm kind of relatively happy that it's all in there and that it's not too much over an hour long, I kind of export it and off I go, hope for the best.
Actually, that's quite relatable that you leave in the bits that don't quite go to plan, because a lot of people watching then actually think, oh God, it's not just me, it does happen to other people. Can I ask you about badminton, Meg? because that was actually a massive part of your vlogging journey. And
don't make her cry, Nicole.
oh no, because
I'm
actually, it's had nearly 100,000 views, that video alone, on the YouTube. And you went to badminton, you qualified for the grassroots, you documented your journey, but it didn't go to plan. But actually that kind of,
it's a good thing in a way, isn't
yes,
it?
when I mean, every cloud has a
It's
silver
not short her to
lining.
fame.
Yeah.
Exactly. But it has had a massive impact on, actually, if that hadn't happened, this vlogging sort of journey might not nearly be as sort of successful as it has been.
Yeah, no, definitely. Actually, weirdly, it was a year ago today I fell off at badminton.
Was it?
To the day, which is bizarre. But no, that was a really difficult day because that was very much my aim since grassroots started. And I remember after the fall, I didn't really vlog anything. I think I just got a clip of me walking out and loading there. And I remember on the lorry drive home, I was saying to Mum, I was like, I'm not doing it. I'm not posting it. Like, I'm done with this vlogging thing. I don't want to do it. And it was only because I had done that big badminton prep video. I thought, well, I can't just leave this kind of chapter untied. So I thought I'll do the badminton one and then that's it. And I posted it and it got such good sort of feedback and people were so lovely. I thought, actually, no, like I can deal with posting these horrible moments as well because people are really supportive in the highs and the lows, which is lovely.
It's a massive community, and actually that's one of the things I want to talk to you about, because actually that is an example of your community pulling together and actually sort of giving you the support to get through, and I think everybody can relate to that. So let's talk about the highs, because there is a huge amount of positives on social media and there's so much to love about it. And I know that, Tina, you've had lots of different opportunities that have come your way through that. There's a huge community of people actually behind you, willing you on as well, isn't there?
Yeah, it's lovely. I mean, I do think sometimes, like you say, when you go to an event, you think, oh, I would like it to go well because I'd love to make a lovely vlog. But
I'd love to have that red rosette at the end.
Yeah, exactly. I'd love to make a lovely vlog. But actually, the ones that have the stops or the falls or the tears are the ones that people love more anyway.
Yeah. What about the sort of the tough side of it? So we've actually had some questions in about how you cope with sort of any kind of, we've all had it on social media, any kind of negative comments. If people are thinking of vlogging and are thinking of starting their own YouTube channel, one of the things that I think puts them off is, oh God, but what if people think I'm silly? Or what if people think, oh, what's she doing? Like, how do you deal with that, Meg?
I think I'm really lucky in the sense that it kind of just goes straight over my head. It really hasn't been something that's particularly bothered me. I remember I was listening to a podcast recently and someone was saying, they were asking the same question, and the guy that was answering it was like, well, I've never seen a hater doing better than me. And I quite like that. So I kind of think, well, you're just sat at home sending horrible comments to people you've never even met. I just think, actually, that makes me feel better about myself, if anything. And
yes.
I go about my day after that.
Yeah, no, I think you're right, actually. I think that's a good perspective to put on it. So, Tina, if somebody is at home thinking, they're watching this, they're thinking, God, okay, I've got my video footage. I really, really, really want to put it all together. What would you say to them?
Just do it, yeah. And even if you don't publish it, you don't have to publish the first few that you make. You could just show them to your family members, or that's what I love. One of the things as well, and why I really enjoy making them, is because my granddad that lives in California watches them all the time. And it's just so nice when he sends me a WhatsApp saying, I watched this, didn't Emily do well, and didn't this, didn't that. And it's just like, oh, so nice to know that he's still in connection with us, even though he's the other side of the world.
Yeah, I think that's very, very good advice. Okay, let's go through a few of the questions here. So Pony Angel says, how do you start talking naturally to the camera? And this kind of links into another question, that you're at an event and everybody sees you walking around with your camera, or you think they see you walking around with a camera. Like, how do you actually start thinking, oh, do you know what? It happens naturally.
It's funny, isn't it, Meg? Do you still get nervous doing that?
Do you know what? Bizarrely, I get less nervous doing that than I do just like if I get Mum to film me, I'm like, oh, like I can't do it.
I'm so much better holding it myself than somebody else filming me.
Yeah.
You feel like you're in control, don't you?
Yeah, exactly. And I kind of think at an event, no one knows who you are. So for all they know, Horse and Country have sent me over there to do some vlogging. So I kind of just, as long as you're confident, I think it's or like
exactly.
appear to be confident.
Yeah, even though you're shaking inside, just appear to be confident. I always used to say, I said to Emily before when she first started getting into it, and I said to people that on the vlog, a vlog that I made about vlogging, is that just pretend you're talking to your mum, because don't be like, oh, I'm making this and what are people going to think of what I'm saying, but just pretend that you're telling your mum about your day, and then it just flows so much more naturally.
Yeah, and should you just practice at home? So if there's nobody around, just kind of put your phone up and practice.
Yeah, I think you should practice, because you need to practice speaking to the lens. And I realise I'm not doing that now because I keep looking at you and Meg when I should really be looking at the lens on the computer.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
That's okay. That's okay. Okay, next question is, what equipment do you need to vlog? We've obviously talked about your phone and actually just using the editing software on your phone. But Meg, do you use any kind of sticks or anything that adds on, a microphone, anything like that?
I'm a bad person to talk about this because I love things that are simple and easy. So I do have a little microphone thing that I've used once, but it kind of makes things more difficult. A selfie stick, and I recently got one of those gimbal things which is meant to kind of track you, but I'm still trying to get to grips with it. It's quite tricky. So the answer is you don't need to have anything fancy. You
can just use your basics. Tina, do you use anything?
Yeah, 100% what she said. I've had a gimbal for a couple of years and I just stopped using it. I just don't. At Hickstead I used it a bit, and at Badminton I've used it a bit, but it's cumbersome to carry around. It's not like just having your phone. And actually people are happy with the odd judder or the relatable footage, because we're not trying to be a professional TV show.
I was going to say, I suppose that actually ultimately people aren't expecting an all singing, all dancing production. It's a real vlog.
Everybody thought it was hilarious when my mum went to film my dressage test and actually ended up taking a selfie of herself and trying to figure out how to turn it around, so it was filming me like that. But I would say to anybody thinking about starting is definitely one of these. These are the best little tripods to hold your phone.
Okay, so it keeps it steady.
And they're not expensive, but they just allow you to put the phone at different angles so that you see the ball just swivels around and then your phone flips in there, and it's just, if you haven't got anybody to assist you with your filming, you can prop that on the floor and you're away. We've just had one message in actually. Maria Show Jumping on YouTube says, Meg and Tina, I've watched both your vlogs for years and now I'm going to start vlogging. Oh, yay, get one of these.
Get one of those. There you go. This is the show for you. How does that make you feel, Meg? Because actually you've had an influence on somebody that you don't necessarily know, but actually you've inspired them to do something.
Yeah, I love getting messages like that. It's so nice, because I know I was nervous before I started, and it's kind of following the same pattern that I did with Tina, I guess. She got me into it, and then it's nice to think that now I'm getting people into it as well.
Yeah, I have to admit, I think it's really nice when people actually say, do you know what? Thank you. I'm going to start doing this. That kind of leads us on to another question. Getting nervous. Do you still get nervous either about vlogs, Tina, that go out, or because you can kind of feel like you're bearing your soul sometimes? Do you ever get nervous? Do you ever think, oh God, do I press publish?
Yeah, I think the ones that I've planned and know that I'm going to make, not so much really, but ones where I've just spontaneously go, I think I'm just going to vent to the camera. But I feel nervous about making them live, but then afterwards, the lovely comments, like you say, just make you think, why was I worried? Because I actually feel 10 million times better than before, 24 hours ago.
Yeah, no, it makes a massive difference. Okay, question in from Zoe on YouTube. Proudest achievement with the horses. Let's talk horses for a second. We'll come back to vlogging. But let's talk horses. Tina, I'll start with you, because Banksy, Banksy features in a lot of your videos. Tell us about him and what your sort of standout memory of him is.
I've got many a standout memory, but generally most of them are from negative reasons. No, I guess really would be going on the All-Star Academy. That was amazing. And he, despite ending up in hospital on the last day.
Hang on, you ended up in hospital, right? Okay, that's a story.
Due to a typical Banksy moment, yes.
Right, okay. Not to plan.
Should we save that one for another day, or?
Tell us what happened. Were you were obviously okay, but
yeah, we were okay. On the final evening, as the final competition, like challenge, we had to do a dressage to music test.
Okay.
I was out in the outdoor school at Talland, practicing it on the final night, ready for show day on the Sunday, I think it would have been. And yeah, he spooked, and his saddle slipped a bit. And we managed to get back up. I've got the video. It was all caught on camera.
People can go and find the vlog if they want to watch.
And then he spooked again, but he proper spooked that time and flung me, and yeah, I got knocked out.
Oh.
Bless Lizzie had to end up sitting in A&E with me till 3 a.m. on
oh dear.
it was either Bath or Swindon Hospital.
Oh God, not the end that you would have wanted to All Star Academy.
No, but it did mean I got out of the dressage to music the next day, which I was delighted with, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it did mean that.
Dressage is not my thing.
Would have been the whole All Star Academy have been your
finale,
your real highlight with him, or is there anything else?
Doing that was a turning point for us, really. Yeah,
okay.
So I've been quite nervous about doing much with him prior to that, and then after that it gave me the confidence to think, if we can do that, just go for it, let's get on. And we didn't really event much prior to that, so it's only really been the last 3 years that we've been eventing,
that you've been sort of out competing. Meg, how about you, because you've got a few ponies to pick from? Whichever stands out for you, we'll go with.
Oh, that's really mean. I feel bad. None of them
like picking your favorite child, don't worry.
No, I must say a standout moment for me was definitely the actual qualifying for badminton. Not so much the getting there, but the qualifiers were really tough, and I tried for so many years on various different horses, and I really was never expecting Bear to be the one to kind of get me there, because she was a bit of a rescue case, she was a bit of a wild card. You couldn't really rely on her to sort of keep her head in the game. But she actually ended up winning her qualifier, and that was just the most surreal day. I don't think I've ever cried so much at a win.
I was going to say, I bet there were lots of tears.
Yeah, lots of tears. Annoyingly, I wasn't vlogging then, but that was just an amazing day.
And what about competing against one another? Have you, because you're obviously in different parts of the country, so a question came in, says, have you ever competed together? If not, would you like to? I know that you've got something called virtual eventing going on at the minute, which we'll come on to in a second, but have you ever come up against one another?
We haven't actually, no, because of living so far apart, but we have been, and that's where we first actually met last year, wasn't it, Meggie? You came and introduced yourself with your towel on your head at Swaycliffe.
Yeah, that was the one.
Why did you have a towel on your head?
It was a stay away show, so I'd just been to the shower block, and then I was walking back, I was like, oh my God, that's Tina. So I went and said hello. I think I had a towel on my head and a towel skirt. Not a good look.
Made a lasting impression. It's okay. Right, let's talk about some of your vlogs at the moment, because obviously you said the easiest ones to make are when you're eventing. You're not eventing at the moment, nobody is. So how have you come up with what you're doing now?
When I first started working from home, I was just trying to think of ideas of something I could do to keep myself occupied. So yeah, I thought about that, pulling names out of a hat and just trying to look back and reminisce.
So is that what you're basically doing? So you're pulling names out of a hat?
Yeah, I'm here still, actually, I think.
Oh, perfect. Here's one I made earlier. There you go.
Got props and everything.
Right, okay. So
I actually had you last time, Meg, as well, didn't I? So yeah, we're pulling names out of a hat to get a dressage. We're putting, and then leaving that one out, getting a show jumping. And then we're just reminiscing over the footage, which has been quite good fun, actually.
From those events that you went to?
Yeah.
And Meg, is it one of those things that actually is kind of, it can be easy to forget, and I suppose less so if you've been vlogging about it and you can kind of look back on that video story of the day, but actually it's quite nice to go back and go, oh, do you know what, actually that event there, my dressage test wasn't nearly as bad as I thought it was. Didn't need to delete that one.
Yeah, no, it is so nice being able to look back, because like I said, it's very easy to go on your BE record and see exactly what results you got, but it doesn't sort of tell the story of the day. So it's really nice to have the vlogs to look back on.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, let's go to another question that's come in on YouTube. Always Ponies on YouTube says, what is the hardest part about putting yourself out there on social media? So we've kind of touched upon the positives and the negatives. What do you personally find the hard part, Tina? I'll come to you first.
I think it is just every now and again the self-doubt does creep back in. And you think, should I be? And also the fact that you're aware that you are an influencer. I'm not keen on the terminology, but you don't want to say the wrong thing and things to get portrayed wrongly.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think a little bit that is the hardest part. Just overthinking or treble checking everything.
I'm a big overthinker. I'll
snap
on that one.
Snap.
Yeah.
Worrying about what you're going to worry about next is what my husband
exactly said. Yes, absolutely. Do you find the that there's a bit of a pressure to make sure that you are coming across, like you use the term influencer there? I know it's a term that you might not be particularly keen on, but actually you do have an influence on other people, and that could be a really positive thing as well.
100%, because I think like so many people class an influencer in the term of influencing somebody to buy something, but it isn't, because the amount of people when I started doing Couch to 5K last year that messaged me about doing Couch to 5K was absolutely insane. And the buzz that gives you, knowing that you've encouraged and influenced somebody into being more active, is better than trying to sell somebody a product any day.
Yeah, absolutely. Meg, how about you?
What's the question again? Sorry.
What's the hardest part about putting yourself out there on social media?
I think for me, I don't really mind what people think of me as a person. You know, we're not all going to like each other, that's fine. But what bothers me is what people think about what I do with my horses and how my horses go, the tack my horses are in, the exercises I do with them. Because there are a lot of people that think they know an awful lot on the internet and they're not afraid to share their opinions. And it really does make you doubt yourself sometimes. If someone's like, you shouldn't have done that with your horse. And I'm like, should I not have done? Like, have I actually put my own animal that I love under any sort of like pressure or harm that it didn't need to be under? So I think that for me is what I find the most difficult.
Yeah, I can appreciate that. And as you say, there's, for every lovely comment you get, there is an occasional, and we can read 100 lovely comments, and it's that one that's a little bit critical or a little bit not as nice that you always remember out of them all. Let's go through a few more questions. Shelley Thackeray says, why did Tina call her channel Life on the Left Rein?
Ooh. Initially because I hated the Left Rein, so I was mainly that's another video. I was mainly documenting my journey to try and, you know, when you hold yourself accountable by like, I will do this, make it a nicer place.
That's fair. That's very, very fair.
The transition used to terrify me.
Is it better now?
Yeah, a lot better. I wouldn't say it's my favourite, but
it's okay. It doesn't have to be your total favourite. Okay, let's go for another question. Who is your biggest inspiration, Meg?
Are we speaking horsey?
It can be any inspiration you like. I mean, you can say Tina if you'd like to. I mean,
no. I'm not going to stroke her ego that much. I would say in the horsey world, I'm a massive fan of Pippa Funnell and Mary King. I remember reading their autobiographies when I was a lot younger, and I just love the way they kind of worked up from nothing, really. Like, it was all about their raw talent and their dedication to the sport, and that always sort of inspired me to work hard and try and improve. So I think probably those two ladies.
And actually, we had Pippa Funnell on EPTV last week with Alice Fox-Pitt. So if you want to go back and watch, you can do. It is all on the Equine Productions YouTube channel. So there you go. While you're here.
It was Piggy as well, wasn't it? I think
it was with, I mean, honestly, three of the most amazing women in the world: Alice Fox-Pitt, Pippa Funnell, and Piggy French. Or Piggy Mark. Now, I mean, that is an impeccably good trio. So go back and have a look if you haven't already seen it on EPTV. Tina, how about you? Biggest inspiration?
Well, I was gonna steal Piggy then, because
I think Piggy can still class.
Yeah, and also I will say, like, obviously we're doing this here with Meg now, and you said Meg is allowed to say me, but she's not going to. But Emily, my best friend Emily, because she's pushed me so much to do eventing and to do the things with Banksy, which she's known when he's been a heller at times, yet she's always helped and encouraged and motivated me to keep going with him.
And Emily, who we referred to a little bit earlier on in the show, you do a lot of vlogs together, don't you?
Together, yeah.
Yeah, and she also based down in Cornwall?
She is very close to me, yeah. 5 minutes away. We hack together a lot. Well, not at the moment because I'm not riding, but she still is on her golden oldie Sprite.
There you go. Okay, well, that brings us on to another question, actually. Izzy Prendergast asks on YouTube, what is the first thing you want to do when we're out of lockdown? Meg, have you got something you're really missing at the moment?
Eventing, 100% eventing.
I think we're all a little bit like that. Tina, how about you?
I think we all need that cross-country fix.
Yeah. I think there's going to be a lot of horses.
Either that or get Banksy to the beach, because we love the beach.
Ooh, the beach. Okay, that's
only
a very
10-minute drive. We're very lucky.
Okay, well, we won't be very jealous of that at all, will we? Okay, Flowcaster Eventing says, what is the best opportunity you've both had as a result of vlogging? Meg, I'll come to you first.
Oh,
it might be a joint answer.
Does it begin with O?
That was so fun. Yeah, Olympia was amazing. I can't get my head around it. Still, when I think back to it, it was just incredible. It was kind of like, I felt like a celebrity. It was like we were going backstage. We did a meet and greet together, which was really fun. And yeah, it's just such a magical atmosphere there as well. So that was really nice to be sent there and to be treated so well. So that was really good.
Tina, is it the same for you that you got, because you got invited to go to Olympia, didn't you?
Yeah, and it was like when the email first came through, it was such a shock.
Yeah.
We were like, oh, okay. So yeah, no, it was brilliant. Absolutely fab. Just wish we could have done like the whole 5 days.
I know, that's the thing. Okay, next question in from Nina Smith. What are you filling your days with during lockdown at the minute? Tina,
enhancing my vlogging skills.
I was going to say, you've been actually improving your editing, becoming
I've been
more
learning to use this little device.
More perfect. There you go. What is that?
That's a DJI Osmo Pocket. That's a video camera.
Really?
Yeah, it's good, isn't it? And I gave up. I had it at Christmas and I gave up using it because I just couldn't get my head around it. But now I'm determined to learn.
Now you've got a bit of time. There you go. That's that one. Okay. Idway says, what is a horse you would love to own and ride? So any horse. I mean, you can steal it from somebody else. It can be a past horse. It doesn't matter. There are no rules, Meg. Any horse in the world.
Mine would 100% be Classic Moe. I just think she's such a cool little mare. I absolutely love her. Really love her.
Very good answer. 2018 badminton winner, individual 4th place at the World Equestrian Games in Cannes in 2014 as well. An absolute pocket rocket. Like going cross country on her would literally just be like.
She looks incredible. Yeah. I mean, I'd do a B90 with her, but still.
You would definitely get reverse time penalties. I'm just putting it out there. Tina, how about you?
Arctic Soul cross country.
Okay, Gemma Tattersalls,
that would
5-star.
be fun, wouldn't it? Don't think you'd have any arms left by the end of it, but woo!
No, there was a moment, I think it was Gatcombe 2017 when Gemma won the Event Rider Masters there. And if you're familiar with Gatcombe, there's a long gallop on the way up to the bowl. And she was chasing the time. She had 2 poles down in the show jumping, which she was furious about. And she literally, I don't think she even kicks. She just lets go of the reins a tiny bit. And he is gone. And you think, wow, that would be some feeling. I wouldn't have liked to have had to pull him back up at the end of it, but it would be something. Okay, let's go through a couple more questions. Last couple of questions. So if you have got any you would like to ask Meg and Tina, now is your chance. Comment on YouTube or Facebook. Okay, Giveaways Fern says, how do you cope with confidence issues in the saddle? So have you ever had your confidence knocked? How do you sort of pick yourself back up and carry on? Tina, I'll come to you first.
Yeah, I have. I had a rubbish year in 2018. And that wasn't brought on by anything Banksy did as such. It was brought on by some issues at work.
Okay.
And it really, again, made me have a lot of self-doubt and a lot of questioning of my riding ability, which is weird because, like I said, it wasn't actually anything to do with riding that brought it on. But yeah, I didn't even end up doing my first event in 2018 till the end of July because I just couldn't even think about attending one. It was weird, very strange. Okay. I did have some help from a mindset coach, and I did have great help from our instructor, Fred. He was great. He helped a lot. But yeah, it's not a nice thing to have to, it's hard, especially when you don't know what really caused it. If you'd had a fall or you had an issue with a canter or
something, yeah.
Or something that caused a spook. But when it wasn't anything particularly riding wise that caused it, it was quite hard, yeah.
Yeah, no, I can appreciate that. And I actually think it's really nice to say, do you know what, I spoke to somebody, because
speaking that is so much.
Yeah, that is absolutely okay. And it could be that you speak to your dog, you could speak to a friend, you could speak to anybody, but
you could just speak to your phone and film yourself speaking.
Absolutely, but actually getting it out there and actually saying it out loud does make a massive
realizing that it's
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And sometimes when you say things out loud, you go, oh, do you know what? Actually, it's okay, or whatever. But yeah, definitely do that. Meg, how about you?
Yeah, definitely experience that a lot. I think I'm really lucky in the sense that I normally have kind of 6 or 7 horses that I'm riding at the same time. So if I'm having a bad time with one, it really helps to ride the others. They kind of pick me up a bit. But something I would say for people that aren't as lucky as me to have lots of different rides is not to be afraid to drop down a level. I think people get really worried about saying, like, maybe going down to a B80 or something if they've once gone 100. You just need to forget about that. And the main thing is to build your confidence and your horse's confidence, and you'll actually end up back where you were a lot quicker than if you try and just bulldoze through.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think that's very, very solid advice. Okay, last couple of questions, and I'm going to ask you these quick fire. So Mint Polo says, if there was a chance you could have a day in the life of any rider, who would you choose? Meg? Janelle Price, so you can go and take that.
Janelle. That's a good,
I mean, that I'd love to just be Janelle when I grow up. So
when I grow up, please.
Amazing role model. Do you really want to, I mean, you can pick somebody else.
Well, no, I think Janelle would be amazing, because then I can pick Tim's brain as well, can't I? So it's kind of a double whammy.
Tim, give me some lessons for a day. Absolutely. Tina, how about you?
Oh, quick. I'm not good with quick fire. Who would I like to spend the day in the life of?
Yeah. You inherit all of their abilities as well.
Oh.
I mean, I just made that bit up, but yeah. It's okay.
Oh, really good at
pressure.
I feel like I'm not good at quick fire. I'm not good at decisions. Who should we go with? Let's be William Fox Pitt for the day. See what it's like to be a man for the day on horseback.
There you go. That's a pretty good call. That's pretty good call. And then you get to spend the day with Alice as well, who's lovely.
Exactly.
And we love her here on EPTV. Okay. Favorite kind of videos to film, whether it is just a normal at-home vlog, eventing, brand videos, anything like that. That comes from Bigs and Small.
Eventing vlogs.
100% eventing vlogs, yes. We know the format, we know what we've got to capture. We get to have fun doing it.
There we go, perfect. What have you got coming up, and where can people go and find you on social media, and what vlog do they want to look out for? Meg, go to you first.
I've got a makeover video, not for me, for a very hairy cobby pony that I have. So I'm really excited to take all of her hair off. I think that'll be quite a nice video to watch. So you can find that on my YouTube channel, which is at Elphick Event Ponies. And that's also what I am on Instagram and Facebook. Very easy.
Amazing. Tina, have you got a makeover?
We don't need makeovers. We've got another fun vlog that I think Meg's going to take part in too, aren't you, Meg? Coming up in collaboration with Jules over badminton. They're doing a bit of a, don't know how common knowledge this is to be yet, so maybe I shouldn't say it quite yet. But
okay, watch this space. Don't break any news that you shouldn't be breaking.
Bring back badminton memories.
Okay, bringing back badminton memories. We like that a lot.
Yes.
We have had loads and loads of questions. I'm so sorry if we haven't got to yours. Maybe we'll have to get Tina and Meg on again to pick their brains and put them to them. But thank you both very, very much. It has been a delight. We could sit here and talk all afternoon, but
quite happily.
I know. Thank you both. Listeners, Viewers, wherever you are, thank you very much for watching. We hope you've enjoyed this episode of EPTV, and we hope we might have just inspired you to give vlogging a go as well. While you're here, don't forget to subscribe, and you can click the little alarm bell, and that will notify you when we go live as well. And on Friday at 1 o'clock, Derek Thompson, Tomo, the absolute legend, will have two very special guests, both jockeys, to talk you through. So 1 o'clock on Friday with Derek Thompson. Come and see him then. But thank you very much for watching. Meg, Tina, thank you. And we'll be back very soon with another episode of EPTV.
Bye. Bye.